Good afternoon. My name is Gabby Olguin, and I have the privilege of acknowledging our first Ruby Award recipient, and that will be Honorable Norma Sierra Galindo. IID Director Norma Sierra Galindo represents Division 5, which includes Imperial, which is where I live, so thank you, Hopeville, parts of Calexico, and Eastern Imperial County. She began her service on the board following a special election in 2012 and was re-elected in 2014 and 2018. She has presided on a board as board president in 2020 and in 2016, serving as vice president in 2015 and 2017 and 2019. Before her IID election, Ms. Galindo was appointed to IID's Energy Consumer Advisory Committee, where she served for 8 years. In 2005, Ms. Galindo was elected to the Imperial Valley Community College District Board of Trustees, where she served on its Bond Oversight Committee. Ms. Galindo worked as a teacher and occupational programs, medical assistance, and business departments. She also operates a private interpretation and translation in business. She is recognized for her lifetime work in advocating for farmer workers' rights, safe working conditions, livable wages, and access to affordable health care. She has organized community events to provide free health care screening, food distribution, and community resources for farm workers. She is deeply committed and in our community champion for low-income students, which I have been able to take advantage of that, so thank you. She has assisted in numerous students with completing college and scholarship applications. She volunteers long hours after work and on the weekends, providing assistance to all students who dream of attending a college. Ms. Galindo is recognized for successful assisting numerous Ms. Galindo is recognized for successfully assisting numerous Calexico High School students in receiving the Gates Millennial Scholarship of $100,000. She is deeply invested in assisting individuals challenged by homelessness. She volunteers and provides financial resources for Spread the Love Charities and the Brown Bag Coalition. Ms. Galindo greatly believes in the power of girls and women. I have to do that. Norma has mentored many girls and women to seek and obtain higher education degree, seek management positions, seek election in government positions, and serve on policy on making committees. Ms. Galindo has afforded numerous funding stems and grants to give girls the opportunity to attend workshops and leadership developing conferences in the STEM fields. She strongly supports the Mana Hermanitas, which is a program, a Little Sisters mentorship, which is mentoring program that provides young Latinas from the ages of 11 and 18 with educational and skill building opportunities, leadership development, mentoring, and peer support. The program is designed with cultural competence and the address of physical, emotional, social, and intellectual needs of young Latinas. Ms. Galindo is a graduate of Calexico High School. Director Galindo was awarded a bachelor's degree in history and anthropology from the University of California and holds a state teaching credential. This is her long list of all of the things that you have accomplished. Board of Directors, U.S. Navy League of Imperial Valley. Board of Directors, Cancer Research Center of the Desert. Founding board member, Habitat for Humanity of Imperial Valley Affiliate. Imperial Valley Women's honored in 1991. MANA National Latina Organization 2014 Las Primeras Award. Lifetime appointment made in 1997 by Governor and Attorney General to Cadre, California Schools Education of Law Enforcement and Partnership, former proprietarian of A Place of Angels, an extraordinary place for people with cancer, and a member of the Condrosol Medical Missions team in Peru and in the lower part of the Amazon. Now, I'm going to add a little bit. I have not had the opportunity to sit down and actually have a one-on-one with you, but after reading your bio, I know that your work that you have done in our community and continue to do has touched me personally, and I want to thank you for that. And I also want to thank you for just being an awesome woman. As you come in, you direct attention, and that is what a lot of us women and men would like to continue to seek. So thank you, and I look forward to have the opportunity to sit down, mask on, and to get to know you a lot better. There you go.
Thank you.
No, go ahead and let's give her her award.
Okay.
She can take her picture, and then
Okay.
we'll move aside, and then
And
she'll,
then
you can get the mic.
Thank you very much for those of you that are present and for those of you that are watching online. I must say that I was rather taken aback when Martha called me the other day. And so I would like to express my gratitude to the Seroptimist International and Seroptimist of El Centro, and to the women who feel that I am worthy of this award. As you know, most women who are truly working in the trenches do not seek fame or fortune. We are too busy working. But once in a while, an acknowledgement from accomplished women, such as the women of Seroptimist, certainly has a great deal of meaning. I would also like to share that it is an honor for me to share this award with Venus and with Dr. Rueda, both of whom I do not know personally, but I do hope that this event will be the beginning of a long and good friendship and professional relationship. Women's history, I really pondered as to what to say, and I'm pretty long-winded, but I promise you I'm going to not be, or try not to. But women's issues just obviously come close to home. And I tell my students, because I teach in the nursing track, that the first doctors in the history of mankind were women. They were the ones delivering the babies. They were midwives. They were the healers. Okay, and it goes by. It goes by over people's heads. But this goes to show just the nature of what the gender, the female gender entails. Now, these healers became prolific, and they passed on their knowledge, and even to this day, many of us culturally still rely on curanderos and folk healers in order to attempt to alleviate our illnesses. Unfortunately, the healers, for one reason or another, became persecuted. Fast forward to the time of the Dark Ages, when women who were healers were, of course, accused of being witches. And it was a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation. Because if they healed someone, they were called witches, and if the person died, they were called heathens of Satan. So either way, you lost. And this is very troubling. This type of stigma continues to today. So, if we go back and think from an historical perspective, our early societies, and I refuse to say primitive, because early and old are not the same as primitive. They were matriarchal. They were matriarchal. And in many ways, our society is still matriarchal, particularly the institution of the family. And so, what happened? What happened that all of a sudden these societies that were led by women, that were concerned about peace, that were concerned about health, that were concerned about goodness, all of a sudden moved to a patriarchal society where power was imposed, where there was an issue of one gender is better and stronger than the other? I don't know. I have been known to conclude my talks by saying that Eve was framed. And some of us with a sense of humor take it with a sense of humor, and there are people who are offended. But I just think that from the time that that dude bit the apple, we have been paying for that in more ways than one. So, again, I have to justify my beliefs, and I can't prove it, but that's my theory. But despite all of these challenges and all of these obstacles and all of this adversity, we have prevailed. We've prevailed as mothers. We've prevailed as healers, as writers, as inventors, as scientists. And yes, some of us have been tyrants, tyrannical leaders. Today, we may look back and rejoice at our accomplishments. When we talk about Women's History Month, we talk about the suffrage movement and all. And we have every right to do that. Some of the events that have transpired that I want to convey to my students to be aware of is that women didn't vote for a long time. And then when women could vote, Mexican women couldn't vote. Okay? I mean, come on. And then women could not own property. Women were at the mercy of their older brother or their whatever other male was in the picture. Women could not get divorced. Men could divorce women, but women couldn't divorce men. Now you tell me what's wrong with that picture. And at the same time, we have been victims of violence, whether it is physical violence, psychological violence, or any other kind of verbal violence. We experience to this day domestic violence, hatred, racism, sexism, and misogyny. And some of us experience all of the above because we happen to be women of color, and we happen to be women, and we happen to be educated and strong women. So sometimes these characteristics do not necessarily work in our favor. It always reminds me of when I was a young woman and the folks would sit around and talk about young women and men, and they would say, oh, well, he's getting ready he should be getting married. He's already sowed his wild oats, which means he went around putting the wee-wee in places that he shouldn't have been doing it, right? But a girl, so help you God, went out with a couple of boys, and she was dirt. And we, as women, sometimes even feed into this notion. Now, what's the answer? Continuity and endurance, for sure. Adaptability to the changing times. And over and above everything is education. Education. We must tell our daughters that they're smart, not pretty. Just imagine. You're smart. Boy, you're really smart. Instead of, you're really pretty. I mean, we know they're pretty, and that can come secondary, but still. These are simple things. We must teach our boys that it is very macho to go out and do the dishes and do their own laundry, and that women love that kind of macho. I've worked on my son for that. We really must empower our young and expect, not hope, but expect that they will receive equal treatment, equal respect, equal understanding, equal pay, equal. And there is no place for hope. It's time to expect. For in the end, women will lead into the world of peace, and men and children will follow. And I would like to just again reiterate how thankful I am and how important this is. We don't really have an answer, but the fact that we've prevailed since time immemorial, and we continue to have our capabilities of love, of endurance, of patience, of understanding, no one can take that away from us. No one can take that away from us. And let me leave you with another thought. Last year when the election was going on, it was, as you all know, a very contentious presidential election. And I would walk into the staff lounge and people would be talking, and this guy and that guy, and I don't like, they bashed Hillary to the max. The irony was that the ones bashing Hillary were women. Okay, well, whatever floats your boat. So, but they didn't say a whole lot more, because I think a lot of people thought that at one time Hillary was going to win. Okay, so the day after the election, when Hillary did not win, I walked into the staff lounge, and one of the women who I think to this day is still very much a trumpeter, why I don't know, she came to this country as an undocumented person. She has a brother that's gay. She doesn't fit the profile, but nonetheless, okay? And so she looked at me and she said, "Norma, what happened to Hillary?" And I looked at her knowing that, she had probably not voted for her, and I said, we are our own worst enemy. And I walked off. And I think oftentimes that's the case. That's the case. One thing we're never going to be is men. Good God, who'd want to be a man anyway? Okay? We are never going to be men. I am never going to be able to bench press 3 times my weight. I don't want to do that. But my brain can do just about anything that a man's brain can do. And I think that's what we need to differentiate when we look at, when they say feminism, they think we're a bunch of lesbians and we chew tobacco and we do this. So what if we do? We're still women. See? But feminism gets a really bad rap with that. So it is our job to dispel these myths. It is our job to be prissy when it's time to be prissy. But you know what? I can run in these heels and I can sprint between here and the car faster than probably Alex. I know I can do that. You want to try it? So, again, our girls need to know that yes, they can. And don't hope, expect. I will be here to support. And I thank you from the very bottom of my heart, because every child that I empower is an image of you, in your name and in your spirit. Thank you.